we're going to bring them on, and I would like for them to introduce themselves one at a time. Tyler's there, so we'll start with Tyler and Amber and Jaylen and Logan. Tell us, your name, your age, what school you go to, and what grade you're in. Tyler, we'll start with you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler. I'm in 10th grade, and it's in MacArthur High School.
Okay. Amber?
Hi, everyone. My name is Amber. I'm in 10th grade, and I go to McKinley Tech High School.
All right. And Jaylen?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaylen Parker. I'm 18, and I graduated from McKinley Tech.
Woo, woo, the senior in the group. And Logan?
Hi, my name is Logan, and I'm currently a sophomore at McKinley Tech.
All right. Wonderful. So let me start off. I mean, when you all, first of all, why were you interested? Anybody can jump in. Why were you interested in this ambassador, international ambassadors program? Why did you decide to sign up for this? All right, don't jump at one time. Okay, is that you, Amber?
Yes.
Okay.
I was interested because I wanted to learn more about like international travel and foreign affairs and what it was like to actually travel while working and meeting new people in different countries.
Anybody else?
I was interested because I was also interested. I wanted to get into foreign affairs. I always wanted to do international travel. I'm definitely interested in study abroad, and I've always wanted to visit Africa.
Okay, have you done any international travel before, Logan?
I've only been in U.S. territory, but never actually like in a different continent.
Okay, and how about you, Jaylen?
Same thing. I've never been outside the U.S.
So why were you interested in this program?
I love looking at other people's cultures and being immersed into other people's culture, and that's one of the big things I like when meeting people. So I like my trip going to Madagascar.
Okay, we're gonna get back to that in a minute because there were some special things that happened with you. Tyler, how about you? Why did you join? Why did you participate?
Well, I really just wanted to just try something new, and just get the best experiences I can out of life.
Have you had a chance to travel out of the country?
Yes, I have before.
Oh, where have you been?
I've been to Aruba, Mexico. It's a couple others, but those are my two favorite.
All right, sound like great vacation spots. Wonderful. So, it was funny, Vanessa and Ada and Wanda, how, a lot of folks thought Jaylen was actually Malagasy. He sort of got that that approach, from folks. What did that feel like, Jaylen, when people thought that you wanted to go visit a place with a different culture, but then they thought you were one of them?
I mean, it was kind of awkward for me, mainly because a lot of people were trying to speak French to me, and I couldn't really understand it. But I just enjoy when I'm just meeting different people, and they were trying to have a conversation with me, even though I didn't know them.
Wow, interesting. So let's go back around again because I want to find out what was the most, I guess, I don't know, the most memorable moment that you had in Madagascar. Logan, I'm gonna start with you because I think you shared that before. But what was the most memorable moment that you had?
One of my most memorable moments, like going to Madagascar, is definitely meeting the people. They are probably some of the nicest people I've ever met in my entire life. I like how grateful they sound. I mean, how grateful they are, and how like they they're definitely having like family values. Also, the food was very good. And visiting the school with the children was definitely memorable.
Wow. Okay, Amber.
My most memorable moment was definitely the school and like meeting the kids who were there and like listening to their story, like kind of connecting with them and talking to them about my life in DC and then hearing about their life in Madagascar, it was a good moment to like connect with them and share our similarities and differences. And it was asking like about how school is in DC, how high school is in DC, and different things like that, how I interact with my friends. That was probably my favorite part of the trip, actually. Definitely the food too. The food was really good.
Excuse me. How would you how would you describe, or how have you described to your friends, Amber, about the school that you visited? I mean, it's not like McKinley. So,
Mhm.
how would you describe it? And what was that experience like for you once you saw the school?
Um, I feel like the trip in general is so hard to describe it because if you weren't there, it's like you just don't understand how memorable it was. But describing the school to my friends, I told them it was very different, and I also explained to them how transportation for them is different and how like most of them have to walk almost 2 hours to school, and how we have easy transportation like the train, we might take it for granted. So I just explained stuff like that to them, and yeah.
Well, I think we all remember the trip to the well, where we thought we were going to go find the water for the school.
Yes.
Tyler, you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, actually, when you guys had went to take a walk up to the well, I actually went with another one of the. Well, I went with Stefan. I don't know what I would consider him as, but he had took me to like the very, very top of the mountain, so we could see like the whole
Oh,
view.
that's
So I wasn't
right.
actually with you
Yeah.
guys. I was top.
No, you all did disappear to the top of the mountain. That was, and we must have walked how many miles with Nana? Ate about 2 miles just to go to find where they get this water. But that's right. You all kept going up to the top of the mountain, which was quite an experience.
Yeah, it was
Is there
actually
another
3.5 miles.
3.5? Thanks for reminding me.
I don't remember how many miles, but I know it was steep and narrow.
And narrow
Just
with
to get
ledges.
water. Right,
Mhm.
right. So what was one of your most memorable moments, Tyler?
I would probably have to say the school was most definitely memorable for me. Just getting
Mm-hmm.
to see like how others my age experience life in different countries. It's always interesting to see, and I will always see like videos on the internet, but it's even better to experience it in person. And I really wish that other kids would have the opportunity to see what I got to see within that week. I feel like it was a really really touching experience.
Wow, wow, fantastic. What about you, Jaylen? You had a lot of moments.
Oh, I would definitely say the food, uh, amazing. Everything was super fresh and everything was delicious when it was plated on the plate or a bowl, or it was just amazing. And definitely the scenery, because we live here basically downtown DC. Well, I almost live in downtown DC, and it's all buildings, but it's nice to see a diverse landscape, like the trees and the buildings and the areas, the developing areas. It was amazing. It was a nice experience.
Yeah. Thank you. I want to ask, and either Wanda or Ada or Vanessa, is there anything you might want to share? We're showing some photographs from different scenes that took place during this trip. But is there anything you might want to ask the students that you didn't get a chance to ask since we've got them all together?
I just have a comment to
Wanda?
share
Sure.
that I just have a comment to share that the four of you were just outstanding. You guys were open to receive. And, that, breaks down walls right away. And I could see through your interactions, your conversations, that, you were determined to share your stories, learn the people, the students' stories, and, which really fosters a deeper understanding and connection between, the two worlds. And this is something that you guys will carry with you forever. And, it widens the world, conversations as well. So I'm thankful, beyond thankful for the four of you.
That's wonderful. I
do.
think we all are very proud of them. Go ahead, Wanda.
Absolutely. I tell them all the time, and I'll shout it to the rooftop how amazing these young people are. And I know that we are in good hands as we move into the future with them. I will ask them. So this was a long trip, as you indicated. It was like 18 hours. And when you came home, two things. One, because I was still jet lagged for probably 3 or 4 days, if not longer. Talk to me about your jet lag and tell me the first thing that you either did or that you ate when you got home. Jump in, anyone. Who's first?
Oh,
Logan.
okay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead,
Um,
Jake.
when I first got here, I mean, I didn't really feel jet lagged. I felt pretty fine the whole trip there and coming back. But as soon as I got here, I basically had to get ready for a community service event that I was doing. So, I didn't really get a chance to rest as soon as I got off, but I was fine.
Okay.
When I came back, the first thing I ate was Chipotle, and then
I think I remember you all talking about that when we were there.
the first thing I ate was Chipotle, and then I had a volunteer at my school for like the rest of the week, so I was really tired. Like later in the afternoon, like I would be at the school volunteering, I'd be trying to fall asleep. I was so tired for like that week, and then I kind of caught up on rest throughout the weekend. But it took about the weekend I was pretty much okay, and adjusting to like the food here because it tastes completely different. It made me like a little, I don't know, uneasy. I don't know. It was different, but other than that, I was okay.
I want to ask, I'm going to jump in really quick because, we're talking about the ambassadors program, the international ambassadors program. And now that you all have had this experience, and this is your elevator pitch, as somebody talked about before, or your opportunity to promote this program. Why do you think young people should consider being a part of this program and traveling to Africa?
Great question.
Tyler.
I would, like I said before, I feel like other kids my age should be able to, or probably should have this experience. I would say, like a lot of people my age take a lot of the things we have for granted, especially over here in the U.S. I always say, when I came back, I told my grandma that like we're spoiled over here. I feel like everybody should come over there, be able to go over there and see, like the things that they have to go through, and have a greater appreciation for what we have over here when they come back.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Jaylen, you spent a lot of time in doing service through I forgot the name of the program already, but tell us what it is.
It's called the Young Marines.
Young Marines, that's right. Yes. And you spent a lifetime with the Young Marines, but
yes.
And you want to do some international, I think, travel as well. But why do you think this program is so important?
I'd say it's just important to get to try new things. Like when I went to Madagascar, everything was pretty much new to me. The things I've done in Madagascar, I never once even thought about doing down here in DC. So I'm grateful for, just getting the opportunity to try new things.
Including dancing at a concert. Logan said, "Come on." What was Jaden's line? I might as well.
Just might as well.
Logan, what about you? I mean, you talked about you want to do some international travel. You want to work globally.
Yes.
Why do you think this program is important?
This program is important because it is exposing youth in DC to different foreign exchange programs, or just them taking us to the U.S. Embassy in Madagascar is definitely eye-opening. I was able to talk with people who work in Peace Corps, or people who are in the military and security branches that work at the embassy. That was really cool. But I'm mainly just interested in studying abroad in Europe, or traveling in Germany.
All right. Okay. We're going to keep following you. And Amber,
I think this program is important because it shows kids like life beyond their city or their, neighborhood, because there's so much more than just DC. And I feel like if you just get caught up in what's here, you'll never be able to explore or understand what's around you and be able to gain opportunities and network with people beyond your city. So I think everybody should experience traveling to Africa, especially because you get to see, because Africa, they put a picture, but it's so much more than what people make it seem. So this is a great program. It's really important.
Wonderful. Wanda, I want to come back to you really quickly because this was the fourth trip. And do you have sort of any stories to tell about any of the students that traveled with you before who actually did are actually, fulfilled the idea of doing work internationally?
Absolutely. So there are a few students I'll highlight. One that's actually serving as our chair on the board for young adults. And I was happy that two of the four here have decided that they want to join that committee. But one of the artists who went to Cameroon, actually, what she's doing right now is an art, and most of all her art is influenced by the African culture that she did when she was in Cameroon. She's also taught one of our classes. So we stay in contact. As I said to these four, we are stuck like glue now. We're family. And so whatever they need, we will be able to assist them or at least guide them into the deck. Hi, DB. I'm sorry. So that was good to see him hopping on and see the students as well. And I almost lost my train of thought, but when I saw DB there. But let's see. Again, so a number of the students are participating. They stay with us. We want to make sure that they stay and we support them in whatever they do in the future, whether it's international travel or they're doing some domestic, but we will have our hands on them all the time.
Wonderful. And I want to go to you, Ada, right now, because I want to talk a little bit about more before we go about Roots to Glory. Tours. I know that you do tours throughout the year. Can you tell us what you have that's coming up? And what does it take for people to be on board and to participate? And I'm going to say, because I tag along with you. You even exposed us to the Gullah Geechee area in South Carolina and Georgia. So I mean, but most of your tours are to the continent. But talk about that and what's coming up.
Yeah, so this Madagascar was kind of like my first East African tour, which, I hope to go back soon, Vanina.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm preparing. I've gotten a lot of people wanting to go back to Madagascar. So I'm trying to see what we can do and our availability for next year. We are planning to take a group of chefs to Senegal and the Gambia in December. We're taking a small group of people to Benin, within the next 6 months. And then we're going back to Cameroon next year in March. And from Cameroon, we're taking another small group to Congo, DRC, and Kinshasa, and Brazzaville. And then we are going to Cote d'Ivoire. I know I don't even know if there are enough months to do what I'm trying to do. So, sometimes I say it and I think, oh my God, who's going to do all of that? But yeah, so, if you're interested in hopping on one of our tours, you go to our website at rootstoglory.com. And we're really just trying to expose as many people as we can to the continent. And now we have these students, and then we have a group of chefs that always travel with us. And so we're just, chipping away at it. And I think that, before it was fashionable to travel to Africa. Recently it's now fashionable to go. But before that, it was like, for me, it's where we started. But where we want to go is kind of where everybody is now, like wanting to go to Africa, like on their own, not having a tour company. I think that's really, really important for the growth of the diaspora to consider themselves now wanting to go to Africa as opposed to Europe and other continents. So
Can I jump
it's
in
great.
real quick? So, Miss Ada, I heard all these trips over the next 12 months. Now, you know, we have a trip coming up next year.
I
So,
know.
focus yourself too, then.
I know. That's why I said I don't know how it's gonna get done, but I'm for it.
So I'm going to wrap up, and I want to wrap up with Vanessa, you know, who again is home, who
Mhm.
has roots in Madagascar, but I mean, home is DC, but home,
Right.
home. And, you know, it's really, you know, for any of us, when we have events, we invite people into our homes, and we really want them to make sure that when they leave, you know, it's a memorable experience. And you said some great things about the students, but after having this experience, I know, you know, you probably thought one way before we left, and you talked a little bit about, you know, what you hoped would happen. And so I just want you to end us with, you know, what this meant to you to have all of us there, and you know, to visit your home.
Yeah. I can't stop talking about it. You know, the opportunity for me was, I think, just as important, I think, for the students as well. And I'm just, you know, very fortunate that all of you, especially students, you know, despite the differences, we all were able to come together and find common ground. And, you know, that really aided in creating, you know, a friendship. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, that, you know, is that spanning oceans and continents. And I truly do believe that, you know, a good amount of you will be coming back because there's a lot more to see and a lot more to do. And I also, one thing I wanted to point out earlier was I feel that Madagascar is special in the sense that, you know, when we talk about small businesses, I mean, the country is a makeup of small businesses. And, you know, I had the opportunity to talk with the students individually. I'm like, you know, look, you can be a food critic. You know, look, you can, you know, sell, you know, odds and ends. You can be a hotel critic. You can be a travel vlogger, blogger. I don't know which one's appropriate these days. So, you know, it was really something important for me because you know you know, now that I think we were 14 total, that's 14 people that really know Madagascar. And so everyone will be able to share their stories, and it will just really increase the knowledge of, you know, like I said, the forgotten island.
So we talked a little bit. I'm gonna tell you, I did watch the movie. We talked about the movie and how the movie Madagascar, the cartoon movie, misrepresents Madagascar. But I watched it this weekend because I wanted to make sure, and I found out that it really doesn't, because you had these four animals that were locked up in the New York Zoo, and they
Right.
wanted freedom. They wanted freedom. They wanted to be in the wild. They got on a ship. The crates that they were in ended up on this island that they thought was the most beautiful island in the world. And of course, the first group of folks that they met, or critters they met, were the lemurs. And so they had a wonderful time in Madagascar, but then it was time to go back home.
Right.
So for I don't know who the what were they? I don't know, but what the critters were, you know, it's for
There's
them,
the
for
fossa,
y'all.
there's the
Yeah,
fossa, and then the lemurs. So those are the two animals in
right.
the movie that actually exist here.
Exactly, exactly. So anyway, I enjoyed it. It was fun. I enjoyed the trip. I'm glad that you all were able to join us today to talk about your experiences. Can't wait to hear what happens to you all going forward. And I want to thank everybody for joining us and for, you know, telling us about your experiences. There's going to be more. There's going to be more. I know they're going to be on a Madagascar television station story that's
Mhm.
coming up there, and Washington Informer's doing a piece. So this story lives on. Congratulations to everybody, and have a wonderful weekend.